this is Ambi from Board Game Blitz, and I have 5-year-old twins who have played board games since they were 2. I've been making videos of games they've enjoyed through the years, and so this is going to be a video of board games that they liked playing when they were 4 years old. And you can check out my videos from when they were 3 and 2 as well. They still liked playing those toddler games at the beginning of age 4, but somewhere partway through they kind of stopped playing some of the 2-year-old games, and they actually had their first coal this year. So if you do look back at those older videos, keep in mind that depending on the kid, they might start growing out of games at this age. But here are 5 games that I think are great to play with 4-year-olds. First up is Hoot Owl Hoot. Now this one my kids actually didn't get into as much, but our friend, who is also a 4-year-old child, really likes it and played it every night before bed. Hoot Owl Hoot is a cooperative game where you have cards with different colors and a track with all these different colors, and you're trying to move little baby owls to get them into the nest before the sun comes up. You play a color and choose an owl to move, and they'll go to the next space of that color. It's kind of like Candyland, except there's more decisions because you get to choose which owl to move, and they can jump over the other owls. It's a very cute theme for most kids who are into animals. My kids aren't into animals, so I think that's why they didn't play this game as much. But I think it's a nice cooperative game that's a step up from Candyland. Next up, from the same publisher, Peaceable Kingdom, is Race to the Treasure. This is a cooperative tile placement game where you're trying to lay down tiles and build a path to get all the keys and get to the treasure before the ogres get to the treasure. So on your turn, you're drawing a tile, and it either has an ogre, which makes the ogre track move up, or a path tile, and so you can match up the path tiles and you're trying to get a good route to get to the end. It's pretty simple and kids can figure out how to build paths, but then also as they play more, they realize what paths are good to make instead of just making random things that connect but don't necessarily go towards the exit. It's also a fun theme with trying to get treasure, and you get like keys to get the treasure. So my kid, who really likes treasure, is into that. Next up is Outfoxed. This is a very good first deduction game for kids. The game is a cooperative deduction game, and on your turn you're rolling dice and trying to match up 3 of the icons so that you can either move and search for clues or flip over 2 suspect cards. So there's suspect cards of foxes that have different attributes, like they're wearing a scarf or not, or they're wearing a hat or not. And then the clues are those things like scarf and hat. And when you get a clue, you put it on this little device and you open it up and see if there's a green dot or not. The green dot means they do have that item. So as they find clues, the kids can eliminate suspects. So it's a really good basic deduction game where they're introducing clues a little bit at a time and also the suspects a little bit at a time. Next is Kids Express. I actually got this as a review copy. This is another cooperative game where you are trying to prevent the bandits from getting the treasure on the train. One of my kids likes trains and the other one likes treasures and bandits and stuff. So thematically, this works really well with my kids. But also it has a big 3D train that looks really cool on the table. And on your turn, you're either moving to a place on the train and you'll get a treasure at the end of your turn each time, and then the bandits might move. Or on your turn, you can choose to flick the little slingshot at the bandit. So it's a dexterity game. You're trying to knock the bandits over to get them off of the train car so that you can go there and get the treasure from them. And when you're flicking the slingshot, you can either have it like closer up or further away from the target. So for older kids or adults, they can have it further away and have a harder difficulty than for younger kids. So my kids really like playing this one. I think it's a good dexterity flicking game for young kids. And last but not least is Disney Mickey and the Beanstalk game. My kids really like this one, and he actually played through a whole game when we were filming the overview video of it. But this is a cooperative game themed around Mickey and the Beanstalk. You're trying to take back the harp and a bunch of food from the giant who's in the sky. And so on your turn, you're spinning a spinner, and the spinner tells you where the giant moves and also how many spaces you can go, and you can go up the beanstalk and you go to the different spaces to try to collect food and bring it back down the beanstalk and give it to the village. When the giant moves, if he sees a person, he'll also steal food or steal the harp back. And if he steals enough stuff and his treasure chest gets full, then you lose. But you can get keys and try to take the stuff out of his treasure chest and then bring it back down to the village. So it's kind of trying to mitigate the giant stealing all this stuff and trying not to let the giant see you, although a lot of that is luck. But my kids really like the beanstalk because it's a big 3D structure and the characters go on this beanstalk and spin around to drop down. And so that's really fun. They really like the 3D table presence of this game. And it's a fun game too for kids trying to collect all of the food that you need because you need one of each type. But yeah, my kids really like the beanstalk. And so this is a really good game for kids because of the toy factor, and it's actually a decent game. So this is 5 games that my 4-year-old really liked. I realized they're all cooperative games because I think at this age, for my kids, they started understanding winning and losing, and they don't like losing as much. I also really like cooperative games. We do have competitive games, and they do like those sometimes as well, but we tend to play more cooperative games. I do have overview videos of each of these games on the channel, so you can check those out if you want to learn more about each game. And if you have any suggestions for games that are great for 4-year-olds, please comment them below. Thanks for watching Board Game Blitz. Bye!